All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the video recording and explanation of Master Brandon's fourth challenge. This week, I'm super excited about this one. This week, I'm going to be challenging students to create a self-defense kata. Remember, kata meaning form or pattern, right? Same as kiban. However, here's how this is going to work. Basically, my philosophy surrounding forms has always been that you should practice them as if you're defending yourself from an army of invisible attacking ninjas, to make sure you're using proper power and lots of speed, things like that. I've always thought of it as practicing movements from self-defense, even if it's not always all that practical, all right? So for this week, what I would challenge you guys to do is to do exactly that. I want you to pretend as if invisible ninjas are attacking you, and you have to use the defenses that you've learned from class to defend yourself, all right? So when you're planning out your self-defense kata, a couple of things to keep in mind. One, think back to defenses that we practice in the classroom, right? Your wrist grab defense, your punch defense, your push defense, right? Your choke defense, even your groundwork defenses will work for this, okay? Use those to ground your self-defense kata and help make it realistic. And then the next thing I want you guys to do is think about different action scenes or fight scenes from movies and television, and use that as inspiration to help make your self-defense kata look really exciting and make it fun for you to perform, okay? It's kind of blending that realistic aspect of our self-defense movement and that fun, cool, exciting aspect of the fight scenes from movies and television, okay? So as you're planning these self-defense katas, after you're finished planning it out, I want you to practice it, make it look really, really clean, really powerful, really strong. Every single movement is strong and fast. And then once you feel confident that it looks really, really good, go ahead and record it and then submit it to Lake Zurich Family Martial Arts at gmail.com, and we'll give you some feedback on it. All right? Let's go through some guidelines. So for my ninjas and basic students, here's what I'm going to have you guys do specifically. Just keep in mind now, though, whenever we talk about the guidelines, whenever we talk about the requirements, this is my minimum expectation. This is like the least amount of stuff that you'll have to do. None of your instructors are ever going to say, oh, you're doing too much, or get upset at you for going above and beyond. We get really excited when that happens, actually. All right? So for my ninjas and my basic students, you're going to be attacked by at least 3 different ninjas, okay? And you have to defend yourself from all 3 of those ninjas. And here's how I want that to work, okay? They're all going to attack you one by one. And then, especially for my ninjas, if all you know is that wrist grab self-defense, that's fine. You can do that 3 times in a row. You can still show variety, though, in your defensive movements that you use, right? If someone's grabbing your wrist and the first time you do a palm strike, your escape, and a knife hand chop, all right? The next time you get grabbed with the wrist grab, don't do the exact same 3 movements, right? Don't do a palm strike, escape, knife hand chop. Again, try and mix it up. Try and use some variety, right? Instead, maybe you can do a knee and then an escape and then another knee or something, right? So use some creativity there. Every single time you do these attacks, what I want you to do is yell out really strong all the different movements you're doing, right? Remember the steps of your self-defenses. We use guard, a distract, escape, and finish, okay? And I want you to be saying those movements as you do them, really strong, really loud, okay? Just like we do when we practice in class, all right? As you're approaching or as you're getting attacked by that final ninja, I want you to end it with something cool, right? Like a really cool show-stopping move, maybe a jumping front kick, or maybe you do your Ogashi throw and slam him on the ground, right? Something to show that you've beaten the final boss. And then what do we always do at the very, very end of our defenses? We run away, right? We escape, okay? So after you've finished off that final ninja with something really cool, something really strong, I want you to escape. Make sense? All right, wonderful. And remember, that's the minimum. That's the least amount of things I want you to do. If you want to listen and then do some of the things I'm asking the intermediate and advanced students to do as well, that's awesome. I absolutely encourage you to do that, okay? So for my intermediate and advanced students, it's going to start off pretty similar. I want you to have at least 5 invisible ninjas attacking you, okay? Now, I know all of my intermediate and advanced students are going to know lots of different defenses, or lots of different attacks, I should say, right? Use variety. Don't use the same attack twice in a row, or even twice at all. You guys can come up with 5 different attacks and 5 different defenses. I have absolute confidence that you guys can do that, okay? Now, another thing to keep in mind, you guys, I'm not going to require that you yell out the different movements. If you want to yell out guard, distract, escape, finish, that's fine. Just remember that every single attack should have some element of those, all right? And I want to talk to you really quickly about your finishers. Remember that for a finisher, it doesn't always have to be a strike. There's 3 main ways that we can finish a defensive technique, right? It can be a strike, absolutely, but you can also end with a lock, or you can end with a throw, right? An Ogashi throw, a Osotogari sweep, the leg takedown. Those are also ways that you can finish an attack, all right? Then the next thing I want you to do is, same thing, basic and ninja students, I want you to finish off that final ninja with a big finishing move. And then another requirement, or not necessarily a requirement, I just thought this would be cool. Keep this in mind as you're planning out the choreography for your fight scene. You can have more than one ninja attack you at once, right? Maybe you've got one ninja on either side of you and they're each grabbing one of your arms, right? You can come up with a cool defense for that. I would love to see that if there's 2 ninjas attacking you at once. Or maybe one ninja's got you in the mount position and the other ninja's right above your head trying to kick you. And you gotta get out of mount really quick so you can defend your face, all right? Be creative with this. I'm excited to see what you come up with, all right? For my intermediate and advanced students, after demonstrating your self-defense kata at full speed, full power, then the next part of the video I want you to do a slow walkthrough, an explanation of all the different movements and all the different defenses that you use, okay? And as you're explaining it, I want you to keep in mind how your opponent's body would react to each strike, all right? If you need an opponent, move my camera, sorry. If you need an opponent in the stomach, right, they're going to double over, okay? Use that to influence what your next move is going to be. If you knee someone and they're doubly bent over and you're right here, your next move is probably not going to be a flying side kick, right? If I'm right this close to my partner, their head's way down here, their body's bent over double, right? I'm not going to back up so I can get a running start and do a flying side kick at them, right? That would waste so much time. Instead, what could I do? I knee them in the guts, they're bent over, maybe an elbow, boom, right down to the back of the head, okay? That would make a lot more sense, and I'm using my knowledge of how an opponent's body reacts to an attack to influence what my next movement is gonna be. Does that make sense? So be using that knowledge when you're creating your self-defense, right? For another example, if you do a sweep takedown and you bring someone down to the ground, again, your next movement probably isn't gonna be a jumping front snap kick, right? They're on the ground, okay? Instead, you'd probably use what? Like a stomp kick, or maybe you're gonna, boom, slam down on them with your knee, or maybe you're gonna lock up their arm and put it in an arm bar, or a gooseneck, okay? Use something that makes sense given how your opponent's body would react, all right? So, and then advanced and intermediate students, once you've done your walkthrough, then you're all finished up, okay? So again, make this choreography look realistic, but also look fun and exciting, okay? If you do it really, really well, as I'm watching you perform it, I should be able to almost see your ninjas attacking you, right? If you've really planned it out and practiced it really well, I should almost be able to envision the ninjas attacking you and exactly what their body is doing, even though they're not actually there. Sound fun? All right, cool. So, as always, best of luck. Good luck, have fun, and I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with. Master Brandon, signing out.